All right, welcome to the Athletes Grind, presented to you by Five Star Athletics. I'm your host, Ray. We got another special guest with us tonight. I'm sure you've seen him all over your TV screen the last couple of days. He had a big game, but just a couple of days ago. Tyler Chance, 2027 recruit, excuse me, from Chaminade, Madonna, QB, listed at 6 foot right now. We'll get into some more measurables coming up, but Tyler, and also we have his dad, Mr. Tornell Chance. So much, guys, for joining us. How you guys doing tonight?
Great. All right.
All right, all right. So listen, we're gonna jump right into it. We definitely want to get to know you, Tyler, and Mr. Chance a little bit more. Tyler, if you would just tell us your age, right? We talked about your height, how much you weigh right now. The your favorite classes, and what hobbies you like to do outside of football.
I'm 15 years old. My favorite classes at Chaminade we have a religion class, and it teaches us a lot about like the Bible and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. And my hobbies outside of football, I like to ride bikes.
Okay, all right, all right. True South Florida kid. All right. So dad, you're the dad, right? And this is Tornell Chance, father of Tyler Chance. So dad, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got your son into playing football, and just how you feel about his performance the last the last game.
Well, yeah, he started playing. He was young, playing catch, and he wanted to play football. So his mom pretty much signed him up for flag football first. She was kind of nervous about the tackle thing, but he played flag, and he was good at flag. He thought he was fast. Really wasn't that fast as he thought he was, but he thought he was fast. So it kind of carried over to him playing tackle, and it pretty much was going up from there. He played at Florida Hurricanes his first year playing football, and he pretty much had to find his position. After about his third year, he started playing quarterback, and he was doing pretty good. He was one of the top kids on the age group that he was in. So, he was pretty good, and it's been going good since then. And last Saturday at that game, he was caught me by surprise. I knew he was good, but he kind of surprised me that night. He had like the cameras wasn't on.
Right, right, right. And man, Mr. Chance, you said it correct. I think he caught a lot of people by surprise, not just you as his father, right? So we talking about almost the whole country with the performance that you put on, but we're definitely gonna talk about that a little bit later. So, Dad, you talked about him starting at the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, and for those of our fans that don't know, our audience, our listening audience, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes is one of the premier organizations programs throughout, probably Florida. It's widely known as keeping some of the top talent. They got a great team right now in Big Zip. They're at Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. So talk a little bit, Tyler, talk a little bit about how it was to go into the Fort Lauderdale's program. We know it's a historic program, right? But just go into there and hold your own and then eventually find your position like your dad talked about.
Well, my first year they were very welcoming, stuff like that. And I really didn't like to go to football practice because you know how it be when you getting hit and you used to it. So I was getting hit, I was crying. My dad made me get back up and do it again. But as time went on, I found my position and it was like skyrocketed from there.
Absolutely. I would say so, Tyler. I would say so. That's a good word for it, right? And Tyler, you going into the season, you just had that tough loss. You guys just came out on the short end of the stick, but you performed well. And before we even get to that, Tyler, I don't even know if you remember, off the top of my head, I would like for you to say it. You remember your stats from that game?
I was 24 for 43, 24 for 48, 28 for 43, 292 passing yards with 3 passing touchdowns.
Oof, man, you see, Dad, you had to correct him a little bit. Hey, one thing that matters is that completion percentage, young man. And I'm sure Dad gonna tell you about that. So yes, do not shortchange yourself. And man, you talked about, all those yards, all those touchdowns. You know, what was the expectation for yourself before you went into that game? What did you expect of yourself?
For myself, really going into the game, I just wanted to win. Like my coach just told me, he said, you don't have to win the game, but you can't lose it either. So I just want to come out with the win.
Absolutely, absolutely. And your dad kind of mentioned it before. You said you surprised him because you had like the cameras weren't even there. So we talk about this game, big game. It's become a rivalry. Chaminade is, won the championship, state championship several times in a row. They went out to Vegas and didn't do so well, but now you got them coming into your backyard, right? And we're gonna talk a little bit about you coming into the program, but how did you manage those expectations to know that yes, there are cameras everywhere, but I'm here to do a job. I'm going to tune everything out. How were you able to do that?
Well, when I was in Optimus, I played in big games with the cameras and big crowds and things of that sort. And I never really felt like rattle. I felt more like comfortable in those kind of environments.
Okay, all right, all right. And Dad, speak to a little bit about that. You talk about the historic program like the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes and Tyler coming from there, but when you were able to see him perform in bigger crowds where the little league, did that, do you think in your mind that helped him to perform the way he performed the other night?
Yeah, of course. It got him ready. He played quarterback in Super Bowls, 2019
Mm.
on the 10U. It was a big crowd. Actually, he was at the Chiefs then, Miami Garden Chiefs at that time, and they played against Lauderdale. And it was two, big teams. It was an ongoing rivalry for that age group. And it was a lot of people at even the regular season game before the Super Bowl. It was crowd, like big crowd, cameras, YouTube, stuff like that. And he took on the challenge like it was nothing. He was already built for it.
Hmm.
So it was just
Absolutely.
kind of got him ready for the big step of being in high school because there was big crowds nationally or whatever.
Right.
But it still was like for it to be the first game of the season and him actually, getting a start at the quarterback and stuff like that, it was just still surprising for him to go out and perform that good.
Right. And so we talked about that, Tyler, and you know, you coming in, you mentioned on ESPN that you weren't starting with the program you were at before, right? So how were you able to transition from not even starting? I mean, it's hilarious right now, right? That Tyler, you weren't starting last year, but how did you go from not even starting at your last program to taking the reins of one of the top programs in the country? What was that work for you every day? Talk a little bit about that. The time you put in, the effort, determination. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it was like the dedication, going to training, practicing every day, not getting discouraged. And when I felt I got my opportunity, I was going to have to do the best with it because you only get an opportunity every once in a lifetime.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Tom Brady always talk about that when he got his opportunity to come in for the Patriots, right? And about taking advantage of that opportunity. So we're gonna come back to that. And Tornell, Mr. Chance, how did you even know to say, you know what, this may be a good program right now where we at, but I think he can sell more if he went to this program. Like how talk a little bit about that and where you how you look at it, and you're a coach yourself. Like talk about that and how you got to that point to go to Chaminade.
Well, I knew that they had a great quarterback leaving, and they had a backup there also. But the guy that left, was one of the top quarterbacks
Right.
in the class in the country, and they lost him. So I knew they would want to have somebody come in and fill his shoes to kind of keep the legacy going to the school, being a big time program,
Right.
winning a lot of games. So where Tyler was at, he wasn't, one of the top names or whatever have you. He was more like one of the little guys. But I felt he was good. He was good enough to play.
Hmm.
So I reached out, got a little information about the program, information about the school itself, and I asked him how he felt about going to compete against who they had there already. And he told me that he think he's ready, think he can do it.
Hmm.
So pretty much signed him up, went through what we had to go through to get him there, and the coaches told me that the best man would play. So I kind of like to hear that and
Right,
went for it.
right. Hey, listen, man. I don't want to. That's something right there that I don't know if our audience just caught, but that was a dad trusting his son, getting him some information, and then trusting his son, and the son trusting the dad, and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna do this thing together, right? We're gonna make this happen. I believe in you. You believe in me. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and do this. So, when sometimes when you do switch programs, maybe I don't know. A lot of times down here in the South Florida area, what I've seen Tyler and Tornell is just that when you do switch teams, it's a lot of talk, right? It's a lot of noise. The
Yeah,
whys. Why would you do? Why would you move there? You had opportunity over here, and oh
right.
man, you went from a public school to a private school. So Tyler, you first. When you hear when you hear that noise, what do you say to that?
To the people that were asking me those kind of questions, I really didn't. I don't talk too much personally about what I do. I try to be like humble about it. So I just told them to watch me work, and that was all paying off.
Absolutely. And Tornell, how did you feel about that? I mean, because at the same time, that's your son. You
Yeah.
got to protect them, and we know how social media is right now. Like, it's so many things at play. So, talk about some of the things you went through, and what you thought and how you handled it.
Yeah, it was a lot of people, saying that, why would you do that? He can do this, he can do that. Why would you go over there? How you gonna compete with this person? But I know my son is a competitor, and the naysayers, he don't let that bother him too much. He pretty much got a strong head. When you make a decision, he always know that he got to stand on his decision. So
Right,
he made the decision, and I was, of course, with him 100%. And we talked about it. It wasn't like just let's just do it right away, like it was gonna be easy. We talked, even talked to his mama about it, and she had said some things, and what you think about this, what you think about that. But we didn't let the outside people deter him from doing what he wanted to do. Because, we thought it was a good idea, a good move, a big platform. As
right,
like Saturday, public schools, a lot of that don't happen, in that type of environment and whatever. So it was a good move, thus far.
yeah. It's definitely paying off already. And that just talks about the strong family dynamic, right? You talked about including everybody in on the decision, because it doesn't just affect just the student athlete, right? It affects the entire family, right? So you talked about mom, talked about you and Tyler all having a say so in that decision, and man, that's what's up. And so we're moving into the game, Tyler, right? So you know you're there, you win the starting job. I'm sure you're happy. I'm sure dad's happy. Now you got the ESPN game coming up, right? And so talk a little bit about your preparation, and then two plays I want you to talk about. I want to talk about when it was going towards the scoreboard, I believe, and you put that ball right in the right in the corner right there, right? And then the other play that I was looking at was that when you threw it across the middle, I think maybe like a deep crossing or a slant or something like that, deep slant, and the umpire was like, "Oh,"
Yep.
so it was like it was like kind of one of those tour throws where you threw to a spot, and the timing was just perfect. He caught it right in the stride. So talk about some of those things, Tyler.
The preparation during the week was watching a lot of film, like 2 3 hours a day. Um, Running the routes consecutive after practice, getting extra reps. Our defense giving us good scout looks, and the guys like running the routes full speed. And in the game, it was like, now it's time to all show what we've been doing all week. So we seen it, we went with it, and then it worked. Celebrated, felt good about it.
Right. And you know, and Dad, I'm coming back to you, Tyler. You're one of your OC. I think it's Coach Wallace, right? Is that Coach Wallace down there? Toro Wallace does a great, phenomenal job, with some little league programs, as well as he's been offensive coordinator for several years now at Chaminade, and they're always high power, right? So, what has Coach Wallace taught you? Like, give us just a couple things. You don't got to give us your secrets and nothing like that, but coming coming in as a taking on that as a new OC, you see sometimes a lot of quarterbacks struggle. But again, although it be one game, you hit the ground running against a big time program, a top 10 program, and that's not easy to do. So talk about your relationship with your OC and then talk about some of the things that he's done to help you feel more comfortable in the system going forward.
Me and Coach Drew have a good relationship on and off the field. We can crack jokes together and play around, kick the ball, stuff like that. And on the field, it's like he tried to make everything simple as possible. Like he jog plays. He showed me from this read to this read to this read. If that don't work, you can throw the ball away. And he tell me like throwing the ball away is some of the best throws we can make. The plays are really, really simple. As long as you know what you're looking at, he always tell me to trust what I'm looking at, and then I should be fine. And he tells me he's smart enough to know that I'm going to make mistakes and things like that. So don't be scared to mess up. Just play and keep going with it.
Man, I heard a lot right there, right? And that before I come to you, what I heard was a young quarterback developing, right? What I also heard was OT trusting his quarterback and the quarterback listening and say, you know what, it's not a bad thing to throw the ball away, right? To make good decisions and things of that nature. So that speaks to a lot of that. Okay, I see that. And Dad, talk a little bit about how it was helping to mentally prepare, right, with Tyler. Just big upcoming games, his first game, he's at a new school, all those things that play school is just starting, social media is the buzz, talk a little bit about how you helped him prepare going into that game and how you kept him humble, right?
Yeah. I just told him pretty much just go out and play. Don't try to do too much. Don't overthink it. It's football. You've been playing football for
Right.
8, 9 years now. So you know how to do it. You just got to go out there and show them you know how to do it. And that was pretty much my, 2 cents to him. Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Right.
Go out there and perform like you know how to.
Right. And Tyler, I just want to make sure we came back to that. You answered that question about the pass over the middle, right? What did you see there? Like, how did that? Talk a little bit about that play, man. That's a highlight for me. I just
So my
go ahead.
receiver, Jason Lopez, he came off the ball with a steam of speed. He was rolling like fast, and they had a linebacker on him. So I know once he passed the Mike linebacker, he was going to clear him because the other cornerback on the other side of the field was going down the field. So I just put the ball on him, let him make a play like he did, and he made a big play for the first touchdown of the game.
Right, and is that a timing play? How did you know to put it right at that spot? Because you had to look through the umpire. And no, I'm serious, guys. I mean, we're laughing about it, but I've slowed this film down, man. And how did you know usually quarterbacks, you're a 2027 recruit. Usually quarterbacks are not doing that, right? So I just want to know, how did you know to put it in that exact spot? Is that a timing play or something?
It's a timing play, and also on film, we seen other teams do it. So, and they had linebackers that wanted to come down for the run. So we faked the run. He took a step down, and once he took a step down, he was over it. It was done.
Oh man, Dad, I don't know how you keep them humble, but you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Um, Listen, Dad, we talked a little bit about Tyler coming to Chaminade, but now that he's gotten a game on his belt, how did you feel going into the season? Right, saying, you know what? Sometimes you have doubts. Is he at the right place? How would he adjust? But talk a little bit about his adjustment period, not only for you guys' relationship, but for other parents thinking about possibly transferring to a Chaminade, a Carmen Gibbons, a St. Thomas, whoever they want to transfer to. It could be a Dillard, a Boyd Anderson, but talk about that process and how you helped him through it and some of the things that you did as a parent.
Well, I pretty much just would say, trust in your child, believe in them even when nobody else does. And if you can get a coach that actually believe in them and give them a shot, that's a positive. That's a plus. Because he can be good, but if the right person don't believe in him or give him that opportunity to show what he can do, it won't work. But if you feel like it's a good spot for your child, don't let nobody else tell you that, hey man, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, but it's not
Hmm.
your job. So you wouldn't do it because it's not your job. So
Right.
if you think it's the right thing to do, sometimes you make mistakes and sometimes you make good decisions. And
Right.
at this point, it's been a good decision for us. It's working. I mean, it's paying off for him right now. And we're trying to just get better.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Tyler, you talked a little bit about this on ESPN. I forget the reporter's name that asked you, but you talked about having five wide receivers that can all catch. You can get the ball to. Talk a little bit about how coming into spring practice, how you're able to gel with those guys, right? And have a prolific game, for your first game. So in a big time situation. So talk a little bit about your relationship with your wideouts.
So during the spring, I wasn't even there yet. I was
Mm,
at Plantation High School, but when I got there in the summer, they were very welcoming, helped me with the plays, keep me up and encouraged. Like when I made a mistake, coach would yell, they'd be like, "It's all right." He'd yell at everybody, stuff like that. So after practice, we would throw like the back shoulders and the over routes and the bangs and the posts and all that to gel with each other. So now I know where you're gonna be at on this route, what you got to do when certain cornerbacks press or they off and stuff like that.
uh, listen, man, I don't know what else people want because he giving you all the keys of how to be a successful quarterback. So we talked about running routes after practice. We said after practice, right? So that's a quarterback that wants to get better, that wants to gel with his wide receivers, and we can see why you guys had the type of night that you had. And so Tyler, listen, the game didn't end the way you guys wanted it to. Rate your performance for the first game. I know I've been kind of giving you accolades, but honestly, what did you think of your performance?
Well, I feel like I had a good performance for it to be my first high school start of the regular season. But I feel like a lot of throws I missed could have changed the game in big ways. Like I missed the out and up to my receiver, Denarius Gray. And I also missed, I think, two slot fades to both of my slot guys. So I think if we make those throws, we come out with the win easily and we don't have to fight as hard as we were at the end.
Man, okay, all right, that's that's pretty good, pretty good. And Dad, what did you think about what was your expectation? Well, what did you think of the performance?
I think, personally, he did good. He did great, actually, for him to be only a sophomore. And like you said, his first time start as a varsity quarterback, he did great. And, it's going to be times where you miss throws, miscues. Like you mentioned that, Coach Wallace said, you're going to make mistakes. It's how you come back from your mistakes. When he
Right.
missed that throw, later on in the game, he came back to it. He made it. It
Hmm.
just things that happened during the game, but he actually did a good job to me.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. And Tyler, for the people that require and expect more of themselves, they're always the ones that's most hard on themselves, right? So I do like that attitude that you have, young man. And listen, going forward, okay, we got that. Got one loss, right? Chaminade is known for making late runs into the postseason, winning state championships all the time. Coach Jones does a great job down there as well. I definitely want to give him his props. And you have Ely coming up 8:30, right? Talk a
Yes.
little bit of talk a little bit about what the expectation is going into the Ely game. I mean, are we going to see another air attack? You gonna y'all gonna put another display? I'm just asking. I ain't trying to get Ely nothing, but I'm just asking. You go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so expectations against Ely is 50 points.
Okay.
50 to 0. The off season, Ely did a lot of talking, telling me I was gonna be on the bench and I was gonna start things of that nature. So we're gonna go in. I want to get all my receivers involved. Everybody should score. Even some of the tools should score. Personally, me, I want to get everyone involved, have everybody confidence on the high, and we're going to Heritage game feeling great about ourselves.
Okay. All right. All right. And man, Dad, what you do is what do you think how he follows up his first game? What are your expectations?
He did set the bar pretty high.
Right.
He went in that first game and did some stuff.
Right.
So next game, the bar gonna be pretty high, and hopefully they can, like you said, blow him out. I really want to blow them out too.
Right. 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 And tell us where's the game being played? Is at Ely?
It's at Ely, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that,
At Ely, August 30th, 7 p.m. The start time. So you get over to Ely and get those tickets and make sure you come to see Mr. Tyler Chance play. And right now, before I let you guys go, Tyler, I want to leave it open to you, man. You're a 2027 recruit. What should the college coaches be expecting from you going forward? If you could talk to the coaches right now, what would you say, and what should they expect from you going forward?
First of all, they should expect, like, they come to our school, expect for my coach to tell them good in the classroom, good around school, good with, like, talking to others other than, like, the football team and things like that. Then on the football field, I would want them to know that I'm a leader. I'm very vocal. I'm not the type of guy to, like, bring someone down when they do bad. I'm gonna, like, pick people up, and I'm going to read the defense. I'm going to deliver the ball. And the game on the line, you could trust me because I'm going to get it. I'm not falling from no challenges and things like that.
Okay, all right, okay. Hey, Dad, man, you got some huge confidence over there. Again, I commend you. And so, Mr. Chance, what should the college coaches expect of your son going forward? They brought him on campus right now. I know it's too early or whatever. But if he were to come on campus, what young man would they be getting? What student athlete would they be getting? Talk to him right now.
well, like you said, he's a leader. He's not a follower. He won't follow the crowd. He don't get mixed up into the nonsense. He's smart, uh, good with talking. He can vocalize himself. Uh, he pretty much give you the confidence, and he don't back down from the challenges. He accept them. He really
Right,
want them. If you say you can't do it, okay, I can do it.
right,
You don't think I can do it? Let me show you I can do it.
right,
And pretty much that's what he is. He's a leader.
right. Absolutely. Looks to be a leader to me. Able to take over a top 10 program coming from where Tyler Chance, 2027 recruit, was not starting and came over to a top 10 program and began starting and had a prolific day, albeit in the loss, but a prolific day, over 250 yards, 28 completions. We go down in stats. But Tyler, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Mr. Chance Tornell, thank you so much for allowing Tyler to come on. We look forward to hearing from y'all again. We definitely want to talk to y'all again. Today was not long enough, but Tyler, I salute to you. Tornell, I salute to you. Have a great game, young man. And anything you want to say before we go?
I'd like to give a shout out to my first coach that made me a quarterback, Coach Bud.
Mm. All right, coach. All right, all right, all right. Dad, anybody you wanna give a shout out to?
Yeah, Coach Ball, a good guy. He saw that my son had a good arm, saw that he could possibly be a quarterback, and he made him a quarterback. Before that, he was pretty much trying to find his way. Tight end. He played left tackle. He played a little
Right.
bit of receiver. So, hey, Coach Ball, good job, man. I appreciate you.
Coach, you definitely got an eye for talent. So thank you for helping to develop Mr. Chance, Tyler Chance. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys throughout the season. And don't be a stranger to the show. Hopefully we can have you guys back. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks for having me.
All right.